Thank you, Travis. Hello and welcome to tonight's regional news. We start off with news emerging from Trinidad and Tobago. Several members of staff of the Office of the President, OPT, have tested positive for the novel coronavirus, COVID-19. The Office of the President, in a statement, indicated that more than 40 personnel were tested for the virus, with many testing positive. It did not confirm how many staffers contracted the virus. The positive results follows confirmation that the aide-de-camp to the President, Paula May Weeks, tested positive for the virus. The President was subsequently tested for COVID-19 and was negative. Testing of staff is ongoing. A review of the conduct of the recent events held at the President's house was carried out, and the OTP said it is satisfied that all pandemic protocols, face masks, sanitizing, social distancing were strictly observed. It said risk to external individuals is negligible. The OTP assured that President Weeks and all staff members, including those who have tested positive, remain in good spirits. Operations continue at the OTP, functioning with a skeleton staff. All public engagements have been postponed until all clear is received from the Ministry of Health. We tell you now that the Vice Chancellor of the University of the West Indies wants a multi-billion-dollar fund established by countries that milked the Caribbean for centuries and then abandoned the region in a state of underdevelopment. UWI Professor Sir Helry Beckel said the region's underdevelopment, caused in no small part by the impact of colonialism, has made tackling triple crisis of COVID-19, the effects of climate change, and the ravages of non-communicable diseases even more difficult. Describing the current situation as a cocktail of disasters, the UWI chief insisted that ECLAC had a moral and ethical duty to promote the Caribbean's well-articulated case for reparations through a $50 billion development fund. He contended that this would represent only a fraction of the wealth that had been taken from the Caribbean, but those populations have never been compensated for the colonial masters. He called for an international development fund into which countries that have extracted wealth from this Caribbean for the last 300 to 400 years will be invited to participate, if not lead in the creation of an international development fund of at least $50 billion. And now for a final story coming out of Brazil. Brazil's economy contracted a record 9.7% in the second quarter from the previous three-month period amid the coronavirus pandemic, the National Statistics Institute reported recently. It is the second consecutive quarter of a decline in the country's gross domestic product, which is widely considered to be a recession. The decrease in the April-June period was the largest quarterly drop since 1996. However, some economists and the president of the Central Bank of Brazil speculated weeks ago that the fall could be greater, even up to 11%. Gilberto Braga, an economist and professor at IBEC, a private Brazilian research university, said that the good part of the news is that although the fall is very large, it allows them to see the possibilities of a rebound in the next quarter. Braga says trends indicate Brazil could see growth of around 0.5% in the third quarter. Brazil has confirmed more than 3.9 million coronavirus infections, with 121,000 deaths. Well, that's a wrap for tonight's regional news. Thank you for watching, and back to you, Travis.